it all work.
We're a rent by room property management company essentially. So,
Okay.
we help investors who have single family properties. We'll guide them through the process of converting their common areas, their dining areas, living areas. Those will convert into additional bedrooms. So we're essentially helping them utilize the multifamily model in a single family asset. Medium term to long term rental from what we're seeing. Average stay is about 6.5 to a year and a half, depending on which market you're in. So the renter wins. It's affordable housing at the end of the day. It's all inclusive, furniture, utilities. Barrier to entry is low. There's no credit check, no deposit. So the renter wins, the investor wins.
You're listening to the AZREIA Show. If you're looking for quality real estate investing information that you can trust, you've found it. Stay tuned and join the tens of thousands of members that have already benefited from AZREIA, your home for education, market information, support, and networking opportunities that will advance your real estate investing career.
Hey, hello. Welcome to another episode of the AZREIA Show. I am your boy, your host, Marcus Maloney, and we have my co-host, Executive Director, Mike Del Preet. So, Vegas, man, how was it?
Wonderful.
Good.
Same answer. No, it was great, man. As you know, you were there. So for everyone that was there, we went to Vegas. We have a convention called Midyear, and we just got back this weekend. And they do a conference, awards, all that great stuff.
And we don't want to toot our own horn, but we was awarded the best AZREIA, the best REIA of
I like
the
that,
country.
the best AZREIA.
Yeah, best REIA of the year, man. So we're definitely trying to make sure we produce high quality content, great education for our members. And that's what it's all about. It's all about the members and the subgroup leaders and the team as a whole, man. So
everybody, business associates, definitely the members. There wouldn't be a REIA if it wasn't for the members. Yeah. So thank you, everybody. But let's, I'm sure we'll have something more about this. Let's jump into our special guest.
Yeah. So we have our special guest today. His name is Ellis Tran. He's the account exec for PadSplit, and we want to welcome him to the show today. So how are you doing, Ellis?
Thanks for having me. One thing I should say, though, is you guys definitely provide value to our members, to the AZREIA members, and, as a business associate, too, we've gotten some good business from you guys as well. So
awesome, man. Oh, we love you guys, man. This is exciting.
Great. So, Ellis, kind of, man, introduce us to you. Who are you?
Yeah.
How did you come in contact with PadSplit?
Yeah, I've been in Arizona for about 3 years now. I started this position with PadSplit about 6 months ago. So my responsibility is launching this market here. As a company, we're in 12 cities nationally currently with plans to actually open up 26 new markets.
Wow.
I think with this recent partnership with Pace Morby, we're getting a lot of interest from investors around the nation. So it'd be silly not to take advantage.
Yep, of course. So tell us about yourself. What's your background?
My background is pretty varied. I studied linguistics, education.
Mm-hmm.
I was in a Peace Corps for a little bit teaching English. And,
awesome.
When I came back, I decided to have a little bit of a career change. Like classroom management stuff wasn't for me.
Mm-hmm.
But started off at the bottom of real estate in collections, calling real estate agents, calling them to collect the referral fees. From there, moved on to accounting, some biz dev, and then kind of made a little career switch into traditional property management. From there, I got into the co-living game. So this is my 4th co-living startup.
Okay.
So I'm very familiar with the product, but with PadSplit, I'm excited to actually help people who actually need housing. So
tell me about, you said the Peace Corps.
Yeah.
How did you get involved with the Peace Corps?
Yeah, with my, what I studied, the path for me was to become a teacher at some point. My last year at UCLA, I was trying to decide what I wanted to do. I went to an international career fair, saw a booth of teaching English in Korea. Right next to that was a booth for the Peace Corps, and that really piqued my interest. So I applied, and it took about a year for me to actually, figure out where I was going to be sent. I chose Eastern Europe as my top destination, and then behind that was the Pacific Islands. So I could have been to either or, but I was in Ukraine, and the rest is history.
Wow. Okay. So you decided to go to Europe versus to Pacific Islands.
They chose for me.
Okay.
Yeah, they chose for me. As soon as they found out about Ukraine, I definitely started looking for some basic Ukrainian lessons on audio and all that.
Gotcha. Okay. So tell us a little bit about your foray into real estate investing. I know you talked about, you was doing collections for referral fees.
Yeah.
Why did you decide to get into real estate?
Yeah, I mean, it was just random. I was back from Ukraine after 4 years, broke. I ran into an old high school friend at a gym, and she had a position at her company. It was Moboto back then, acquired by Ojo recently. But, there was an opening for a finance position. She said finance HR position, turned out to be a purely finance collections position, but, had to get my start there. But, from there I moved on to accounting. My manager at the time, he did some shady stuff. He got let go. So I convinced them to let me take over the accounting for the entire company with no traditional finance experience or education.
Cool.
I like numbers, but I don't like being behind a computer all day and just looking at Excel sheets. With this job, I'm on my feet talking to real estate investors, actually learning about the real estate side of things. So it's been a good experience so far.
Okay.
Great, man. So you got a little real estate background behind you. So start giving us, let everyone know about PadSplit. What is PadSplit? Tell us everything you know.
Yeah, PadSplit. Well, firstly, it's a startup technically. I founded in 2018. We are approaching the 7,000 bedroom count across our portfolio. Venture backed as a company, 35 million in funding so far. We have backers like Cox Enterprises, Citibank, Mark Cuban's investment firm as well. And we're looking to become profitable sometime mid 2024 next year. So things are going well. I believe we just surpassed the unit count. We've been Common, my previous employer, and Bungalow as well. They're in the co-living right by Road Game as well.
So real quick, let's go rewind it a little bit. Love the numbers. So what is PadSplit?
Yes, sorry.
Let's go there. No, I love it. No,
PadSplit.
it all
We're
working.
We're a rent by room property management company, essentially.
Okay.
We help investors who have single family properties. We'll guide them through the process of converting their common areas, their dining areas, living areas, those will convert into additional bedrooms. So we're essentially helping them utilize the multifamily model in a single family asset.
There.
So medium term to long-term rental from what we're seeing. Average stay is about 6.5 to a year and a half, depending on which market you're in. So the renter wins. It's affordable housing at the end of the day. It's all inclusive, furniture, utilities, barrier to entry is low. There's no credit check, no deposit. So the renter wins, the investor wins with the higher cash flow.
Let's hold it. Let's see. Let's slow down there. So let's first talk about the community, right? Yeah. So PadSplit's coming here to Phoenix, and as we know, there's affordable housing issues. There's shortage of homes and stuff like that. So with your model, it sounds like you guys are taking single family residents, like you said, and converting it to like a multifamily model. So what does that mean? So I have a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house. What are you going to do to it, Ellis?
Yeah, let's say it's a 1,500 square foot property. You can probably get 5 to 6 bedrooms out of that. You do have to be mindful of the maximum bedroom to bathroom ratio of 4 to 1 in our model.
Okay.
So if it's a 3-2 and you want 6 bedrooms, you'll have to either add in a 3rd bathroom, which could be costly, or you just put up a wall in the master bedroom, create a hallway to access that private bath, and it becomes a shared bath.
Where are you finding the room for these extra rooms, man?
Yeah.
Living areas, dining areas, so using
Right.
2 existing walls already.
Okay.
A window and HVAC. You're putting 2 more walls in, add a door, and you have a built-out room. So after the conversion, it's really just the kitchen, hallways, bedrooms, and that's it in the single family.
Okay. Well, like with anything, when it's something new and it's disruptive, sometimes you get some pushback. Are you seeing any pushback from city officials or anything in regards to permitting, anything like that?
Yeah, permitting, we recommend it's up to the risk tolerance of the host. The walls that you're adding aren't load bearing, so I don't think technically you need permits, possibly for the electrical work, but it is a long process to get that permitted. So it's up to the host. We recommend it. In terms of issues with the cities, sometimes we'll get them, but it's our goal essentially to reach critical mass and have these cities recognize PadSplit as a legitimate affordable housing provider. I know we worked with some cities in Atlanta. That's our flagship market, whereas, they've given us the green light. That's the goal in all of our markets.
So I like, because it seems like I like the creativeness of taking the dining room and the living room, because today's day, it's not like we really even use those. It's like kind of like empty space now in a lot of homes. So I like how you guys are utilizing that. How big are these bedrooms?
Yeah, there's a minimum of 80 square feet in our model, and that's according to HUD. But I like to say anything 100 and above is better. The more comfortable the member, the longer they'll stay, the more consistent cash flow you'll get, the better numbers you'll hit.
Okay. What are some of the demographics of the tenants or the residents?
No, great question. This is affordable housing at the end of the day. So we're targeting the $18 to $20 an hour earner. The median age is 35. About half of them don't own a vehicle. I believe it's 84% of them commute to work. So they're not, the work from home crowd that we're seeing these days.
So a higher urbanized area,
Yeah,
these
big
properties
time,
need
yeah.
to
So
be in.
it's affordable housing. So it's important for these properties to be in areas where these group of renters already live and work. They should be close to work centers, close to public transport, non-HOAs, class B all the way to C minus properties.
Got it. So what are some of the benefits? Obviously, what are the benefits of PadSplit's coming in, serving our community, and what are the benefits for the person living in the house? Because I noticed, I breezing through the website, I noticed you guys report to credit bureaus or so, to help them out. Can you talk about some of the benefits for the?
Sure. Yeah. Once they're in, they have access to free telemedicine and employment services. Then, like you said, when they pay rent on time, it helps credit score build actually. There's actually a good story about there was a 63-year-old lady who moved into one of the first PadSplits. As soon as she came in, she said, I'm here for life. She kind of became the house mom. She worked right around the corner at the Fry's grocery store as a head cashier. But during her time with us, it was only about a month and a half. She actually built her credit score enough to be able to move into her own place. Previous to moving into the PadSplit, she was living with her family. She had she had housing secured, but she just valued her independence. She wanted her own place. And with us, barrier to entry was low. She was able to move in without, setting up furniture or paying a deposit. And within 2 months, she built her credit well enough to move out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
What is the barrier to entry? What is a local citizen, how do they get in?
It's low. You apply, you do a background check, criminal check, income check. You have to make 3x the weekly rate. And then there's a one-time move-in fee that's set by the host. That's around $100 or $200, but that, takes care of the cleaning once they do move out. But everybody's vetted for. Once they're in, we use a 3-key system, a 3-strike system. So there's a set of membership guidelines that they need to follow. If they violate them, a key's taken away. All 3 are taken away. They're banned from the platform. So they're incentivized to, keep in line and be good members, tenants, because they need affordable housing.
Okay. And what's the value statement for me as a landlord currently shifting from traditional rental to this PadSplit model?
Sure. Yeah. With the traditional rental, you have one person renting the entire property. So if they don't pay for that month, they're kind of screwed. In our model, you're hedged against that because, again, it's kind of like the multifamily model. The average PadSplit has 7 bedrooms. So if, the member in bedroom 1 doesn't pay, you're hedged against them with 6 other income-producing bedrooms. In Arizona, we're averaging about $910 per month per room. Actually, that's a little bit higher because we just rented out a master bedroom with a private bath for about $1,200. So that skews the numbers a little bit. But outside of that, it's about $910 per month per bedroom. So in a 7-bedroom PadSplit, you're grossing upwards of $6,300 a month. And that's unheard of in a single family, unless you're doing, group homes or kind of a different.
All right. But going back to the community, right? So we talked about, it's low barrier to entry. I like it because it's like you buy a house by transportation. They're living with other people. You guys are redesigning the house. Who redesigns it? Does PadSplit come in and redesign the house and build it out for us, or how's that work?
See, that was my next question. It's all right.
No, I mean, so let's say you go shopping, you want to get a property, or you have one that you're currently renting. Share the address with me, share the listing with me. I'll take a look myself. And based off of, my experience, I've done a ton of them by now. I could give you a pretty decent idea of how many bedrooms you can have based on the square footage. Like I said, it's pretty straightforward. You're using the 2 existing walls of the living area, dining area, and 2 more in your bedrooms, possibly more than 1. And then from there, I'll look into the neighborhood as well to make sure, the parking situation is squared away. That's kind of the biggest complaint that we get from neighbors that could cause the city to get a little too nosy. But at the end of the day, we have a robust vendor network that we can refer you to. And they're very familiar with the product and the rent by room model. Same note with the realtors that we work with, the property managers, the lenders, they're all very friendly to this rent by room model.
Got it. So you guys can give some resources for the investor to design the place and recommendations as to what to do, but it's the cost it's on the owner of the home.
Yeah. So we'll kind of work in conjunction with the GC to kind of tell them what we recommend. Hopefully, anybody's free to use any GC they want, but our GCs actually know the rent by room model, so they're familiar with, making sure they hit our minimums. So what was your question?
Well, so going back to the community, so let's wrap that up. So we got the fast moving, we got the co-living. I hit my point. So they help build the credit, providing housing for people that can't afford to rent a 1-bedroom for $1,500, downtown, so they can get in for about $800-900 a month versus $15, $13, $14, $15.
Yep. Exactly right.
Got-
In our model, it's a 31 minimum stay from the get-go. So that gets them out of the STR bucket. So they're paying that upfront in addition to the move-in fee, but that's it.
Got it. Okay. So now that's working. So now it leads into how's this work for the investor? How's it work for us here at
Gotcha.
AZREIA and stuff? So you guys are property managers?
We do the people management side of property management. So we'll market the bedrooms, we'll screen the tenants, we'll facilitate their move-ins with our tech, we'll collect their money, and then we'll manage them once they're in.
Got it.
So the owner don't have to do anything, just refer it over to you.
The owner has to take care of the physical side of property management, maintenance, landscaping, cleaning, but all of that will be fielded through our ticketing system. So, if you do hire another property manager to take care of the physical side of things, you can be a truly passive risk.
Got it. So what are some of the fees you guys charge?
It's 12% of collected rent. So we don't get paid until we help you collect rent. In addition, there's a 2.75% fee that goes to Plaid. That's the payment processing company that we use. But outside of that, the upfront costs to the investor are the renovations and then the furnishings of the bedroom.
Got it.
Is there any fee for placement, for tenant placement?
No, that's all baked in. Yeah, that's all baked into what we provide the investor.
What if someone leaves, is there before the 30 days?
You mean they sign up for 31 days and they leave before then?
They sign up just to live there.
Yeah.
Right. And then you guys screened them, you guys did everything, and then they leave in 15 days. They're just bad apple.
Right.
Do you guys put someone back in for free, or do they go through the whole process and pay you again, or?
So this room will be accounted for the whole 31 days, but after that, we want to keep it just in case they move back in for whatever reason they're entitled to that room. But after that, we'll backfill it as part of the fees. Yeah.
Awesome.
So we hear all of the benefits, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to play the devil's advocate.
Yeah.
We hear all of the benefits, how well it is, how great it is. Give us one horror story of a situation where you guys needed to come in and kind of clean up a mistake. Let's just put it that way.
That's a good question. I mean, here in Arizona, we're still pretty new. It's only been a few months since we have had our first PadSplits up and running, and they're all doing pretty well. But I've heard some stories. I mean, there's one funny story, actually. There's, in Atlanta, especially where we have brand recognition and people want to rent from us, they are selling PadSplit approvals on the Facebook Marketplace for, I think it was $150. So if for whatever reason you don't qualify, if you have, some felonies or some evictions on your record, you won't get approved in our system. You can't move in. But some people are taking advantage of their approved status and selling it. So there's definitely some.
Got it. Interesting. Well, that's across the board on everything, man. All rentals, people are trying to rent out other people's houses. It's very common on Facebook and Craigslist. Yeah, just another way for them to scam something.
So Ellis, just to kind of ask you, why did you guys decide to come to Phoenix since the Atlanta market was doing so great for you guys?
It's a growing economy here in Arizona. A lot of the big players in TSMC, all the companies that are poised to grow pretty large here. And just look around every corner that you're in, there's a development of some sort. So population is growing, tons of people are coming in, but the wages aren't catching up. So there's going to be a big affordable housing crisis that's growing. So, I think we're poised for success here in Arizona.
Does PadSplit put out some numbers? Obviously, I'm assuming they're doing a lot of research around that here in Phoenix. So what are they seeing? Can you lean on that a little bit?
Yeah, maybe not Arizona specific, but I know there's a 14 million people that are kind of in this $15 to $20 earning range that we're targeting. So there's a huge demand for affordable housing, and we just help people kind of build their financial foundation underneath them. Actually had a good call with a past PadSplit member from Atlanta. She lived in one of the rooms about 4 years ago, and I had a call with her as an investor this time. So she's looking to become a PadSplit investor herself, which is a great story.
That's great. Yeah, it helped her out, and she grew, and that's awesome. So basically, the cities you guys are targeting, if we're as investors, if we're looking for problems, we could just follow you guys. It sounds like
a good benchmark is if we're not serving your current market right now, it's about a million population.
Okay,
people in population. If it has a major sports team, those are usually two good indicators that we're interested in the market.
Okay. Perfect. So what was your question, Marcus, about Phoenix?
Just about the growth, and because I know you had mentioned Superhost before.
Right.
How does that whole model work?
It's just we're looking for investors who understand this model. It's you're kind of playing two angles. You're playing the buy and hold angle. You're playing the cash flow angle. Yeah, we have some Superhosts in our platform. We have an ex-Smookler guy based in Atlanta. He's been working with us for 3.5 years. He's got 26 properties in his PadSplit properties in his portfolio. 190 bedrooms, 90% occupancy. He's pulling in last year at 1.1 million gross on our platform. So some people are really using this as a way to
What city was that?
Atlanta.
Atlanta. Okay. Wasn't there like you guys had some traction in Vegas as well, if I remember correctly?
Yeah, we're in Vegas as well. I think we launched there maybe a year and a half ago, but we're probably up to 200 or more units there. But here in Phoenix, we launched the first couple months ago. We have about 6 properties now, about 40 beds. Our anchor clients were some investors from the Home Investor, the parent company of We Buy Ugly Homes. One of them, he had a 3.2. He converted it into an 8.2. It's a long-term model. He was cash flowing, I think, $600 a month. In the PadSplit model, he almost 4x that. He's at maybe more than 4x. He's 2,600 right now.
That's what I like about PadSplit. Like there's a couple months ago, we did the co-living panel at AZREIA's monthly meeting, which you were on, or PadSplit was on. And there's so many ways to change the use of a property outside traditional rentals now. And there's much needed areas like, from veterans to single moms to Section 8 to now there's group homes, sober living. And I like PadSplit because it just helps that affordable housing, and it's not like, I think it's easier barrier to entry for investors as well. We don't got to go get licenses like a group home and nursing and all that stuff. I really like that model. I'm excited for you guys.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I think we're trying to become the Airbnb of co-living. So there's there's a couple companies out there that are doing it, but like we said, we just kind of surpassed them in terms of bedroom count. In our model, we're working directly with investors. There's no bureaucracy involved, no governmental regulations. And then after that, once the property is up and running, it's really just direct to consumer. So we market on our marketplace. And then we also list on about 50 different free websites. So we get the word out there to get the renters' interest.
And how many do you have in Phoenix now?
Bedrooms?
Houses and bedrooms?
About 6 properties, probably about 40 bedrooms.
6 properties, 40 bedrooms. And some were from Home Investors, and you got some AZREIA members in there, right?
One of the subgroup members, he's got a property coming up in the next few weeks. He's got a 9.3 that's at Bill Life.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And in Phoenix for now, roughly where are the houses at?
Yeah, in Phoenix.
Like North Phoenix, South Phoenix, East, West,
all over.
just a little
kind of
spread out.
If it fits that buy box that we talked about here, HOA, close to work centers, close to public transport, Class B, C minus properties, it'll probably do well.
Awesome.
What are you guys doing to find more landlords or more hosts?
Stuff like this. Trying to make the rounds, start to create some content. I recently did one with Jesse Vasquez. He's in the MTR space. You did pretty well, and I'm getting a lot of interest from there. With the Pace Morby crowd, I love it because it's a creative way to get into a home with very little cash. And once they compound that with the PadSplit model, I think it's genius. So we're getting a lot of traction there. And then, our marketing team is doing that thing as well.
Awesome. So I like going with the interest rate changes, and I know Airbnb had that oversupply here in Phoenix. Some people that if they're newer to the business, they're entering into buying these houses as if the Airbnb would pay the mortgage.
Right.
Then when something goes wrong and they got to put a traditional tenant in, it might not really cover the mortgage. So I feel PadSplit is going to be a nice outlet for anyone that may have gotten a bind on any of these other co-living ways of doing. I heard there's some scam going on with sober living houses.
Well.
I don't have the details. Yeah. So people are just doing something wrong in the sober living world here in Phoenix. So I think you guys are going to be a good outlet for people to go and continue if they got into their rental property incorrectly.
Right.
They could leverage PadSplit's model. So check that out.
Oh, I agree. Yeah. With the whole fraud thing, I think they put a pause on approving group homes.
Yeah.
That's what I heard recently.
Wow.
With the STR model, it's oversaturated. Definitely here in Arizona, there's 20,000 Airbnb hosts. That doesn't include, Vrbo with the other smaller players. And, just between the regulations and the seasonality, we're getting a lot of STR people jump ship and look for another model.
There you go. Here it is.
Okay.
Here it is.
So, Ellis, how do we get in contact with you if I'm a landlord and I want to reach out to you, or if I'm a tenant? How do we find you?
Yeah, we have a couple of ways. Firstly, the email. Just shoot me an email, ellis@padsplit.com. Secondly, we have a growing PadSplit Phoenix Facebook group.
Cool.
Feel free to join that. I'll leave my booking link also, probably in the video description or something. I also hold a monthly event at Four Peaks Brewery in Tempe. The next one's actually coming up on Thursday. So Thursday the 29th, 6 to 9 p.m. if you want to come hang out with some PadSplit people.
Free food,
free drinks, good people.
Awesome.
You'll meet current PadSplit hosts, prospective hosts, vendors. So you'll meet with learn a lot.
Yeah, great networking. Yeah, contact Ellis. I mean, you pretty much single-handedly, I mean, you're the one networking, moving and shaking, hitting all the meetings, hosting meetings. You're putting PadSplit on the map, and I think you've done a lot of great things. You made a lot of great progress over the last few months, so that's awesome. I love to
Thank you,
see.
Mike. Yeah, I'm sure you kind of memorized my spiel by now.
Yes, yes.
With all the events that I've attended.
Of course, man. So yeah, no, keep doing what you're doing. Ellis is the guy to get in contact with. Anything you need around PadSplit, make sure to reach out to him. Did you put we'll have all your information in the show notes too.
Yeah, so you guys know what to do. Go out there, join the PadSplit Facebook group. Go out there and search Facebook for PadSplit.
It's called the PadSplit Phoenix.
Okay, so PadSplit Phoenix Facebook group. Ellis, thank you so much for being here, man. We really appreciate you being here. Give us your email one more time.
Very simple. Ellis, ELLIS, PadSplit.com.
Okay, so AZREIA, Western Seaboards, you guys know what to do if you're interested in this PadSplit model. Go to PadSplit. What's the website?
PadSplit.com.
PadSplit.com and reach out to Ellis, give him a contact, give him a follow. Let's make this connection. We want our investors to, generate more revenue, generate more income, and provide social good by doing something with affordable housing. So it's Marcus Maloney, Mike Del Preet, Ellis Tran. This is the AZREIA Show. And guys, we are signing off.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for listening to the AZREIA Show with your hosts, Marcus Maloney and Mike Del Preet. We hope you enjoyed this episode. If you found this information valuable, head over to AZREIA.org and learn more about our community.